Hello, everyone. I'm sitting here with my blanket. Kieran's under there. He's that lump right there. And just retry this video. Now, YouTube obviously didn't like the video I made on uh, Saturday morning, where I instantly knew that this whole thing with Venezuela was planned, and Maduro was in on it. Um, and I guess that's what YouTube didn't like. So all I could say, I must have hit a nerve. Because what they do is, so let's say I make my video yesterday, and as I try to upload it, it says private. Like, no, I don't want it to private. All my other videos, public. I don't set them to private. YouTube does it. They do it when they want to silence me. And that's the truth. That's not me being conspiracy theorist. They do it every time they're mad at me about something that I said. And you guys know I block out names and I say for entertainment purpose only. That is when I really hit that truth. I really feel this. They silence me and hide me. So they set it to private. I manually put it back to public, and then it just wouldn't upload the video. And pretty much anything that I post now is going to have extreme low viewership. They're going to hide it. That's how YouTube works. They've done it to me for years. But here I am trying again. I don't watch other people's videos because I don't want to hear them say stuff that I haven't been able to post, and then it would look like I'm copying them. So that's very frustrating, but I'm just going to try this again. I mean, pretty much I said it on Saturday that this thing was planned. And what I got was that, okay, so do you remember when 45 started to attack the fishermen boats and just bomb them? And no drugs found, nothing, maybe some pot, right? But no fentanyl, no cocaine, nothing. Just these poor guys fishing to make a living, and down in the Caribbean, this ocean, sea, whatever. And I was like, why? And then he did the whole thing with where he stole the tanker. So he'd become a pirate and stole a tanker. And then I noticed the next day that gas was just a little bit cheaper. And I was like, Spirit, is he doing this because remember how 45 has been saying gas is $1.99. It's under $2. They're like, no, I just got gas and it's $2.99 or $2.79, but not $1.99. Well, I noticed that after he stole that tanker, that gas went down 10 cents. And I was like, but that's Spirit. One tanker of gas isn't going to make our gas go down 10 cents. What's the deal here? And they told me that all of this it wasn't about drugs, it was about the oil, and that he'd made a deal with, how you got the plane from he got that plane from the Saudis, right? Of course, he always has deals with Putin, but the Saudis, and a trade deal to stop the trade route down there with Venezuela and the Caribbean, and to stop their trade. That was the deal that 45 made with them. I even see the handshake. And I hear blood oil, and I see Elon, and I see Jared Kushner. So, and everything is for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. So anyway, I see all that, and that's what Spirit showed me. He's stopping their route of oil. And no, one tanker isn't going to lower our gas. But he knows how it's even lower now. He got another tanker, and now he's done this to their country, and the gas is lower here in America. Blood oil. And so it's like, this is, they're giving us cheaper oil from the Mid East in exchange for him doing this to Venezuela. And you say, what about Maduro? Well, he made a deal with Maduro. He said, 45 said to Maduro, we're going to keep attacking you. We're going to keep stealing your tankers. We're going to bomb your fishermen. We're going to attack your country unless you come with us and agree to stepping down, and then we'll take over, and we'll take over your oil and your country. Really, it's the oil. 45 didn't really care about their country other than he could just take whatever money and resources they have left. And Maduro, being crooked himself, saw that he could either die and go to jail, or he could take this deal and then go off and be exiled somewhere and live a happy little life with $1 billion or whatever the hell they offered him. And so he took the deal. So, Obama, as I said before, Obama was not able to get Osama bin Laden physically. He had to find and bomb his lair in a surreptitious little hut somewhere in the ground. Who else? Bush wasn't able to get Saddam Hussein. He found his bunker and bombed it. You don't just physically get world leaders. That's not easy. If it was that easy, we would have already gotten Putin. Putin would have gotten Zelensky. Could have gotten 45 already. It's not easy. So when 45 says, we're going to get Greenland next, we're going to go get Mexico next. No, you can't, because they're not making the deal. Now they could. If they do make the deal, then it would happen. So that's the contention, is that they'd have to make the deal. Maduro made a deal for entertainment purposes only, and that's why all this happened. So 45 is now threatening the female vice president there, and I don't feel like she's going to give in, and I feel like the UN is on her side. Oh, the bot attacks all over social media on Saturday was really interesting. Now, all bots, not all, I'll say a whole bunch of bots come from Elon. And so they all have the same thing. They have 0 to 20 followers. Sometimes not even a profile picture. Their content is private. If they do not have it private, there's like 3 memes, and the memes are about God, guns, and fishing, right? Or their church. Which one? That would be God. So, and they all say the same thing. Someone found out that they did a screenshot, and all these bots have like the same exact comment. They're like, Democrats don't want no kings. They had no King's Day, and yet they didn't like it when 45 took out a king. Well, Maduro's not a king. He's like a president. And hello, what a king thing to do, to take it off with his head, to take out some. Anyway, they're bots. Venezuela is not as happy as you think. It's like the equation would be, yay, Putin took Trump. It's not like a great deal. I mean, it's like, he could be like, yay, no, we don't have Trump anymore, but we have Putin. That's basically what the deal was. It's not good for Venezuela. And so he's trying to threaten their female president. I don't see her folding. I see she'll get backup from other countries, including Mexico and the UN. And, oil's going to run out eventually. It's just so stupid for us to think that we're just going to continue to take oil everywhere, instead of figuring out how to use things like EV cars, like Tesla was supposed to be. How ironic, right? Tesla was supposed to be to help us get off oil. Solar power, wind power, turbines, water. Every roof should have solar panels. We're just so stupid. We're like, but it's money. 45 is just money hungry and power hungry. And anyway, I think that's all I was supposed to say about this for now, because the energy's leaving me. But yeah, the whole thing was planned. So, okay, what do I see happening next? Well, everyone's angry across the world. And, it's not a good look when you can't negotiate with your president. 45 is completely unable to negotiate because he's so afraid of being told no. So he just takes things, he grabs them, and right? He said it himself, I grab, and then you let me do it. He didn't even just say he would grab someone by the pee. He said, and other things too. He's a taker. And he doesn't know how to negotiate. He can't negotiate. Now all these people are enabling him. Oh, the thing with Tim Walz. Tim Walz stepped down because they were saying, oh, fraud in Minnesota. Just like they said, they're eating the cats and dogs. Why do they keep attacking? Well, because Tim Walz is a good man. He has a good heart. And guess what? When 45 took away SNAP money from children right before Thanksgiving and Christmas, Tim Walz stepped up and he got them money for the children in his state. And now 45, I'm going to send ICE agents all over the place and in Minnesota, and I'm going to take away their child care money. Like the evil son of a Antichrist that he is. And he is the Antichrist because Christ is light and 45 is anti-light. He's anti-love, anti-compassion, anti-empathy. 45 is the Antichrist on earth. He is. And once you realize that, everything he does makes sense. Him tearing down trees, taking away health care, anything logical and good. He's trying to blot out the, the light, the love, the compassion, our connection to the earth, animals, etc. He's blotting it all out. Anyway, it just makes me mad that he's doing this to Tim Waltz. Tim Waltz is innocent. But let me say this. Let's say he had to borrow the money to feed the children because 45 took the money from the children. It reminds me of how my mother, one time when I was little, I was at the my mother worked at the little library in our town, and she was the librarian and social services, which means that when people came in and asked for money because they were starving and didn't have rent, etc., my mother would give them money from the government. So it was part of like a, yeah, she was a social services worker. Ironically, we were in need as well. She had had to divorce my insane father, and we often were hungry. And she would often bring home government cheese and government powdered milk. And so one time I was at her job, and right before closing, she reached into this file cabinet and reached into the cash box, and she showed me this IOU, and she said, sometimes I have to write IOUs and take out money so we can eat. And she put in a paper IOU that she'd written and took out like $25 or whatever it was. And then we went to the grocery store, and she was able to buy food for us to eat before she got her paycheck. And then she would put that money back with the next paycheck. And she did that. I don't know how long she did that. Never got caught, thank God. Now you could say, well, that's illegal. Well, she always paid it back. And there's something to be said. It's almost like the Les Mis theory of if a starving man steals a loaf of bread, who's at fault? I mean, after a while, if everyone's starving, so hungry that they have to steal a loaf of bread, and you put them in jail, shouldn't we change our system so that people aren't starving and having to steal loaves of bread? Stealing is wrong, yes. But a hungry person has a natural instinct to survive, and especially to feed their children. Tim Waltz saw hungry children. So 45, of course, the Antichrist would be angry that children would get food and health care and child care services, especially around the holidays. The Antichrist, Trump, would be so mad about that. But, and perhaps that's the fraud that he's talking about. Tim Waltz fed the children in his state. So, you know, anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Oh, what do I think is going to happen? Well, I think it's very possible that because we have the irate king who thinks he owns everything now and is threatening everyone, well, what happened to Georgie Porgy? What happened? Georgie Porgy, pudding pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. So I think that the other countries are going to step up and corner Georgie Porgy Trump. And I also think that he's like the boy who cried wolf with all his lies. And finally, he's going to, you know, they're going to corner him. The other countries are going to corner him. Unfortunately, our country doesn't seem to know what the F to do because he is such a liar and power hungry. He doesn't follow laws. He doesn't follow truths. He doesn't follow anything, no conscience, nothing. And he doesn't negotiate. So what do? And it's like waiting for him to just expire on his own with this bad